Good morning everyone! Welcome back to Pinfall Brewery. We're actually growing again. Got another fermentation bucket, which my wife is extremely thrilled about. In part 1 of the update video I said I'd be getting a second fermentation bucket, and the reason why is because I'm brewing up a Christmas ale for my mum. And the reason why it's the Christmas ale is because this is the drink that my granddad used to drink just at Christmas. And she said to me it was the Jubilee Stout, and I do believe they made it in Sheffield. And she says if you could replicate the taste and try your best, that would be Christmas to me. And I said, of course I will, I'll give it my best shot. So anyway, I went down to the shop where I get all my supplies from, and I spoke to the little old woman in there, and I said, by any chance do you remember the taste of the old Jubilee Stout? She says, oh yeah, she says, it really nice stout, hint of chocolate, hint of coffee, and a little bit sweet. And she says, and I said, that's perfect. I says, I'm glad you know what it tastes like. Can we replicate it? She says, hey, I don't see why not. She says, take this Thomas Cooper's Selection Stout, Irish Stout. She says, take some fermentable sugars in the form of dark spray dry malt extract. And then she says, sweeten it with lactose. Now the lactose is a non-fermentable sugar. So she says, when you've done fermenting and you're ready for bottling, she says, I'd put half of this in. This is 500 grams, but she said, put half of this in, taste it. If it's not sweet enough, add a little bit more. And she says, don't put it all in because you can't take it out, which is obvious. So she says, brew the stout, and when it's done fermenting and you're ready for bottling it, again, put half of this in. If it's sweet enough, leave it half an hour, then add your priming sugar and then bottle it. And hopefully we will have my granddad's Christmas stout, which is the mock-up Jubilee Stout. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually brew it this morning. So join me downstairs and we'll do another brewing video. Alright guys, stay tuned. Right guys, welcome back. We're in the kitchen now and we're going to be brewing up this Irish Stout. So here it is, that's the kit. The Thomas Cooper's Selection Irish Stout. You get 1 can of malt extract. Now because you've only got 1 can, you've got to add some more fermentable sugars in the form of dry malt extract, and this one is the dark. Okay. This kit comes with the yeast. You open the lid up here and it's all sat in there with the instructions. So there's your yeast, and that's all we need for today. The sweetening lactose will be added when we bottle it. So let's get to the overhead view of the bucket and let's start this thing. Well, I had all the best intentions of setting up a second camera, and I did do. I put it up in the cupboard so I could shoot down at all this. However, the card that I was using in the camera haven't emptied, so it's full. So it's going to be a bit like this guys, but who gives a shit, right? We're making beer. I've got this pot which is boiling the water. Got about 6 pints in there, probably won't use it all. And here I've just took the label off of the can. It's over there, look. Just took the label off the can. I've soaked the can in the sanitizer just to sanitize the top. I'm trying it a different way this time. I normally just pour boiling water over the top, and it's sat in hot water so it runs out the can. I've got the kettle that's boiled, ready to put in the can to get the last bits of the dry malt extract out. Lid. And in here I've got all my stuff sat in sanitizer. This is it. It's time to make Granddad's Christmas Stout. God, look at that. It's as black as night. I'm really looking forward to doing this one. I think my mum's going to be pleased with it. This is where I normally tip a load on the floor, but hey, that's one for my homies, man. The boiled water into the can. This is where I always touch the bloody can. Always, without fail, because I'm stupid. But just gonna give it a stir around and what did I tell you? Jesus Christ, man! Every time, without fail. And in we go with the hot water out the can. Is it clean? Look at that. Bang on. Got to get every bit out. I'm going to add probably half of this, just to start with. And now give it a good stir up. Round the world. You'll feel when it's dissolved, because at the minute it's like treacle. You can feel it on the spoon. You can feel it more in the middle, but as you stir it around, it dissolves in the hot water, and you don't get any resistance. So that's when you know when it's dissolved. That's that. I'm just going to add a bit of cold water, just a bit. Just a touch of cold water, just to bring the volume up for adding the sugar, which we're going to add now. Fermentable sugar. Alright, now you can either add household sugar, dextrose, but to get a better mouthfeel and taste to your brew, add the dry malt extract. And there's different types, light, medium and dark. Because this is a stout, we're using the dark. So we're going to dissolve this in here now. I like to add it in nice and slow so it don't clump up. Got a thick head on that. And the rest of it. Every last bit in. Give it a really good stir. This gets air into it for your yeast, and it also mixes up your extract really well. And a bit on the side there. Right, in with the water. Make sure that the temperature's not too cool if I'm getting. Sitting at 22.5. 2.5 degrees Celsius, so I'm going to add a little bit of boiled water to it, and then top it up with cold. You just got to sort of mess about with it like that so you don't get it too warm. "23 litres. I'm going to give it a stir so I know that I'm getting a proper temperature overall. So sitting at 22 degrees Celsius, which is perfect. So let's pitch the yeast I love the beautiful head you get with this stout. That's the best sort of head I've had on a beer that's about ready for taking yeast. That's fantastic. And it's black as night. That's the yeast in. Now you know I like to tamp it down and give it a stir just to help it on its way, so that's what we're going to do. Look at that foam. Foam into the wort now, which has got the yeast on it. Snap a lid on, put the airlock down. And light the fire so we can get it nice and warm. Well, that's it, we've got it now in the brew room. Going to get the heating on and let this baby ferment out. So that's it. That's the Cooper's Irish Stout that we're going to be turning into a replica of the Jubilee Stout for my mum. And hopefully it'll be a good one. If it's anything like the Cooper's IPA, it'll be fantastic. So that's it, guys. If you've got any comments or questions, leave them below. And as always, subscribe and stay tuned for more videos coming up. 2 beers fermenting. Can't get any better than that. Alright, stay safe, keep home brewing, have a home brew. Cheers, guys. See you soon.